What's up, fellow people on this channel? Today I'm actually gonna talk about a few mods and improvements for your phone so that you can improve your battery life, reduce heating, and actually improve performance in games and outside of games. So, how can you do that? Well, first things first, I'm actually gonna talk about storage and RAM. So if you have a device that has enough storage but also kind of lacks RAM, like maybe you have 128 gigs and you don't really use that amount of RAM, that amount of storage, but you kind of need RAM, or you have 256 gigs, or you have 500 gigs, or you have 1 terabyte of storage, you can actually increase your RAM with a few apps. Now, first app is Swap No Root. You don't need your device to be rooted for this app to work. Now, how do you do it? You just start the app, put the file on which amount of RAM you want to create, and then create swap. Now, I have heard stories that this app is fake and this app doesn't work or this works. I am personally not gonna say it 100% works, but I have a device, an older device, that does not have that much RAM, but it has like 128 gigs of storage. So I've created this swap file, 8 gigs, right? And the performance on games and in-apps, it improves significantly. But also another thing, if you didn't know, if you do increase your RAM for your phone, your overall heating and battery uh, might improve. So basically heating will reduce and your battery might improve a lot. I don't exactly know why that is, but that's kind of what everybody says, and it's kind of true because I've tested without RAM expansion and with RAM expansion. The device definitely, gets a bit more heated without the RAM expansion. Now, you have another app called RAM Swapper. This app, it kind of works, but I'm not too sure. I haven't tested it 100%. You can also download it and see for yourself. One good thing about this app is that you have unlimited RAM swap, so you can actually not use only 8 gigs like on the Swap No Root, but for example, I've put 32 gigs on this app and it works completely fine. Um, so does it work? I don't know. I haven't tested it. I will test it, however, but if you do want to test it, you can download it. Another app for optimizations is Fast Game. This app is for games. Basically, when you want to start, it's basically a game launcher. When you want to start an app with full optimizations, you just put this on max and start optimization, and it will then optimize the game before starting it, and then it will start the game. That's how it works. Um, Another app, but this one I will say it's a bit more dangerous. You need. I've done a video in the past about this app, basically my previous video on this channel. It's called Icebox. Icebox is an app that basically lets you disable all apps on your device, even system apps. The only issue with this is that if you, however, disable a system app that basically when your phone boots up, you need that system app for the phone to boot up, you will lose everything on your phone and your phone will not boot up. So what you need to do afterwards, if let's say that happens, you kind of need to go into fast boot by keeping your volume down button and power button pressed for like 20 to 30 seconds or so. after getting to fastboot or your bootloader, you go into fastboot basically. So you can search it also on YouTube, but let's say you've done this shit, you kind of need to go into fastboot and then you reset or delete all system files so that you can go back to zero and start all over again, so that your phone will not boot infinitely. Either way, this is, trial and error for most people. So unless you really wanna stay and do all this kind of thing each time again, and reset and reset and reset until you get like the perfect settings, I'm not gonna recommend this thing. So these are my settings. As you can see, I'm gonna go over them pretty slowly but also quite fast so that you can, you know, put this video on 0.5 or 0.25 and copy my settings if you have a OnePlus phone. If you don't have a OnePlus phone, you can basically copy some settings, but I'm not too sure they will work, so I'm not gonna recommend this option, as I was saying. And you will do it only if you are sure about it and you don't have anything to lose in your phone. Because if you do, I'm not responsible for anything lost on your phone. And so basically the settings that I use, they are perfect for my device because the device boots up and I don't lose most of the functionality of my device. Basically, for the things that I personally use, I don't really need most of these apps, so I did disable a lot of them. So yeah, this is kind of the thing. Now, these are the settings, as you can see, and you might want to ask, well, why doesn't it work to freeze the app? But let me just finish all the settings I have so I can show you how to do it. So for this app to work that I've showed you, you need Shizuku, and Shizuku you need to go to developer options and activate USB debugging and wireless debugging. Also, for some phones, you might want to have activated disable permission monitoring and disable child process restrictions. Either way, you go back and then start Shizuku. Wait the 3 seconds, otherwise it will not work, and then go back to Icebox. Now, if you're gonna press on an app and disable it, for example, it will work and it will show you this way, like the apps that are disabled are on my screen with a very rose tone. But for you it might be different, as you might have another phone other than OnePlus. So uh, if you do want to do these optimizations, be very careful. I'm not gonna get blamed for all your data loss. So if you do want to do it, just make sure you back up all your data and make sure your phone, so search on Google or search on YouTube if your phone has a fastboot. Most phones have a bootloader and you can go from the bootloader to the fastboot, but some phones also have like a command to go straight to the fastboot and delete all your data. So for example, on my OnePlus, it doesn't really have a bootloader from what I've tried to enter it. So all I did was press, as I said, my volume down button and power button when it's infinite loading. If I've done a problem and I restarted the phone and it's infinitely loading, I just kept those buttons pressed, and after like 20 seconds or so, maybe less, maybe a bit more, it will enter the fastboot option. Next thing is actually gonna be the Pixel app. Pixel app is an app that, let's say you play Fortnite, you might want to install it. You can find it on internet, I think. Pixel Fortnite. You just search it. Yeah, I think what was it? Like Pixel download, maybe like this. No. So for the most part, you can download it. You just need to kind of search it. But basically, it lets you can search Brothers Gaming, I think, or something like that. Yeah. Let me just be sure that you can find it. Yeah, so you just search Brothers Gaming and you install this app that they have. So as you can see, you can install all these apps, and yeah, I mean they kind of work. So yeah, that's uh that's the best thing. So you just download this, for example, and yeah, it should work. Either way, this is how you download it and do all this. Basically, all these optimizations kind of work for the most part. There are also ADB optimizations that I will not go over in this video because it's already pretty long and I don't want to make the video too long and also uninformative. So for the most part, the best optimizations for your device might be the swap no root or the RAM swapper in general. But yeah, basically this is all I'm gonna talk about in this video. Anyways, see you in the next one.